Winning Generation episode 5. Great, good stuff. So the three of us today, and we're talking about decision making. So Anja and Roger already kind of felt the energy, and they said it's been like the motivation is very present. It's to be motivated. And when they told me about the motivation part, I had like, okay, yo, I was thinking about calling this episode decision making. And to be motivated is to be motivated to make decisions, to be proactive, to get it going. So, Anja, please share what's present.
Okay, let me unmute myself. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. um, well, we are kind of approaching, I think it's like on 17th of February, we are starting this fire horse here. Yeah. So we are already like now we are in the last moments of the snake, like shedding everything. And by default, like in my essence, I am this energy activator or like light code activator. So making decision, it's not really something that, challenging for me. It never was. But I'm kind of triggered. I'm not gonna say triggered, but I prefer people around me, that can make decision, that they have this activating energy, so we can really activate each other. Than those who just, yeah, like they, not that they are stuck, but they don't want to make a decision. One thing is like, oh my God, I want to make a decision, but I don't know how. Yeah, that's one thing. But if somebody is like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care about me. I don't care about the others. I don't care about life. Well, yeah, these are energies that I'm removing from my life in business and in personal life at the moment. So,
Love that. Yeah, I think like to be in between is a very difficult state. Like between like am I doing it? Am I not doing it? And it's like torture because we are pulling ourselves apart. And it's like every time I feel like not in my center is when I'm actually not here, if I can't make a decision, if I'm blown by the wind without having any control on how I'm moving with the wind, basically. If I feel thrown by the changes rather than, okay, yo, how can I use the changes around me to move forward? And this is what I'm seeing. And for those who don't know, like what Anja was talking about, we're moving in the Chinese calendar, in the zodiac, we're moving into the next phase. So we've been in the what wood snake or so? Am I right? And we're moving into the fire horse. So the Chinese calendar is like older than ours. I think I believe personally it might even be more precise than ours. And so Roger, I'm going to ask you to unmute and to let us know what your thoughts are.
Well, I want to, Anya, why did you say that date?
um, was it, I don't know what I
The
said. Was it
17th.
said? So I think I don't know. I think that I read somewhere that that's the beginning of Fire Horse, but I'm not
Okay,
really
that's an
sure.
eclipse, I believe. And so I'm walking down the street the other day. I'm just going to talk about this because we will each develop something differently, and we're finding that there's a connection to everything. And so I'm listening to a tarot reader, and he says, we're moving into this eclipse this time in the 17th. And I said, oh, that's interesting. He says, it's similar to the one we had in 2018. And so I said, okay, well, let me look and see what Wilhelm gave me on that date in 2018. And it's what we're talking about right now, basically, because it says inspiration and comparison are not the same. And you have been confusing them, which cause you to experience more difficulty in your life than necessary. It is also the primary aspect, but that has prevented you from owning yourself, so to speak. So it's saying that what we're doing, moving into accepting who we are, but we might compare ourselves to others instead, and like Jarne was saying just a moment ago, and say, well, but that's not who I am. but it's supposed to be that we're all inspiring one another in some way, and but we will typically, not typically, but many times we might look at others and then start to judge ourselves as not being enough or worse or whatever it is, instead of recognizing that we're each meant to inspire each other. So I just love that synchronicity so much.
Yeah, thank you. Like it's actually the 17th when the eclipse is happening, and it's the 17th when we move into the fire horse. So, um, yeah, interesting, interesting stuff. So, yeah, decision making, like, it's I just feel my solar plexus in this moment. I think this is also our center of power, our inner sun, our inner fire. So we're having a very fiery energy today. I experience myself. And yeah, let's go to like I'd actually like to read the any advice for today message for today. So I am opening it up on my computer, and oh wow, you put lots on this one.
You might want to go, yeah, that's a little different. If the messages are there, you might want to go to the messages rather than the blog itself. They're below.
They're below, so I have to
Yeah,
scroll down, yeah?
yeah, and then you'll see the messages for the third, and this is exactly what each person is meant to come to, experiencing more of your freedom.
Yeah, the
To
page has changed. I haven't been on this page for a while.
yeah,
I can't see it.
it's right under.
I go on archive. I think I will find it in the archive, don't I?
It's yeah, that's right. You can go back to two. Yeah,
February 3rd messages.
right.
Okay, so got it. Today, February 3rd, 2026. We wanted you and your world to experience more freedom. So we are free to make decisions,
Hmm.
and like it's really up to us to make that move. And the message says, we wanted you and your world to experience more freedom. It would have to be you because each soul is important for the evolution of your world. When you come to the physical plane, you are unaware of your particular mission, but each of you has one. During this restructuring, our messenger took on the role of bringing a philosophy through us that would raise the consciousness of all. There has been a significant imbalance, and we would like to see a greater shift today, as those who have held so-called power have felt emboldened. Today, more of you deserve wealth and abundance, especially our messenger. Please follow along. So the restructuring is a very important time that I think we can go deeper into, as the world as we know, like we're in a very big time of change. Like everyone feels it. We don't really know what's happening tomorrow. It feels very unstable, and there is a reason for it. I think it's because also the decisions that been made by the people in power on this planet um, basically caused us more war, more pain, um, divination, like or separation. We're so divided within ourselves that we see it in the outer world as well. I mean, alone Germany, on this small place, we have like 18 different states. 18 within this one construct, and a few years behind we had like East and West, and now we have like 18. I don't know what's better, probably neither one of those. And for us now, we feel the definition, or we feel the separation within. We feel that something is changing, but we don't know how. And I feel collectively helpless because we've been given away so much power so other people could make decisions for us rather than us really having the power to for ourselves, owning our own strength, being within our own power and making decisions based on what feels right for us. So we deny or we postponed making decisions for ourselves, so other people made decisions for us, and it still happens. So Roger, let us
Yeah.
know. There you go.
And what I'm supposed to say too, and it makes no difference how old you are, because time and space are quite relative. And in this moment, everyone who's existing now is making a choice. And the choice hopefully will be for them to move into who they're meant to be. I'm 75 years old and still just now moving into the place that I want to be today. I'm saying because everybody will look at themselves and kind of think, well, I'm not in the right place. I haven't done, and that's never true. It's just that there's an organization in the universe energetically. We each have an energetic blueprint when we were born in our DNA, and it's activating now. So we will just decide if we're going to embrace ourselves or become a little or stay afraid. That's really what it is. We're going to choose love or fear. Love is embracing ourselves, and fear is like, no, let me not do that. That's where we are right now. And so, why we all felt a move in some way energetically, even on this day.
Yeah, thank you. And we're also like in this week energetically, the Gene Keys talk about it's the 19th Gene Key, which is talking about the future human. So it's also again a very interesting time energetically that we are in, and I have this Gene Key in my creativity in the Star Pearl, which basically means like what I'm here to contribute, my prosperity, like so it's a topic that I'm contemplating about. And the Jinki also talks about the hair body. So it's physically, it is connected to the hairs of our body. So even in the, I connect it to the healing work that I do or in the massages that I give, it's like I sense everything through the hairs of my body. So it's like, it's very energetically fine-tuned. And we all are in this energy in this week specifically. So we all can feel like more sensitivity on like how to make decisions, how to be in an harmonious state of being so we can really take a step back, but at the same time be motivated to take the right actions, to be back on the us making decisions. So, Anja.
Yeah, I really wanted to say something about this. Um, what came through in the morning, that was really, really powerful insight. A lot of people, and me included, not always, but there are definitely, moments that I feel like that. So we have this awareness. We know, yeah, we know. And it's like everything is kind of clear, but then we don't know what to do because there are so many options, so many possibilities. And sometimes, like I already mentioned it, I just do it. Yeah, I just do it. But it's like, I don't know. Okay, maybe, was that the right? Was that not the right? But it's like sometimes when you have this expanded awareness, it's like, but you still don't know what to do. You know that you're going to do it. Like there's no question about it if I'm going to do it. You just don't know what to do it.
And all of it's perfect. Because we will think, oh, I messed up, I made a mistake, and I didn't go in the right direction. It doesn't matter, because what we're each doing in our lives is figuring things out. The world evolves by us taking action and discovering something. And sometimes it's not going to be the action that we think is going to give us the result or doesn't deliver the result that we wanted, but we learn something. And that's what each of us is doing. With When I started doing live channeling, which I wasn't going to do, and they said, nope, you got to do it. Your world's going to go through a big change. And so we want everyone to understand that the changes are helping everyone. And so people will judge themselves for what they think they messed up, but we we haven't created the world yet. You see, we have to figure it out. And so each person is doing that in their own way. And so that's why the age doesn't matter. It's just, what are you going to do now? And from what we have learned, each of us.
So, yeah, so it doesn't matter how old we are.
Mhm.
Um, it's important for us to know also that it's never too late. to make changes. I think most of the people, and me included, like I feel always when I'm hesitating that it's like I have fear of making a mistake. Of, but it doesn't matter because no matter how if we act in love and we're committing to, I don't know why, but I gotta do it, or I just take the risk. I fear, but I do it anyway. Then we will experience a consequence. And this consequence always helps us to gain more wisdom, to be, it's just normal to make mistakes, or to think that a mistake is a bad one is just an illusion, because nothing is ever bad. Really, it is real, if just bad if we're not learning from it. So if our decision that we made caused us and others harm, then we gotta learn from it, and we gotta, adjust. Maybe adjust the way we speak, maybe do something different, act in a different way, behave in a different way, have a clear intention. But it's only like difficult for us if we keep on making the same mistakes again and again. This is foolish if we do it, because we hurt ourselves, we keep harming ourselves. And I've done this for years by not speaking up. Even if I've seen something wrong, like, or something that felt wrong in my body, so someone was hurtful towards me or towards someone else, I had to learn to set the boundary and to say stop, and to really, in this case, protect myself, and to build this shield around me, to just like, okay, yo, it's not about me when this person is angry or mad or is doing something hurtful. It is my decision to be emotionally affected by that which this person is doing, but I gotta become or create a distance between what this person is doing and how I'm feeling about it, and how I'm choosing to move on with it. So Roger, you're on mute if
Yeah,
you want.
let
Yeah,
me say this too.
awesome.
Sometimes when you're hesitating, it may not, sometimes we think that we're being fearful when we're hesitating, and maybe we're integrating. Maybe we're taking in and we're just contemplating and making the right, the correct movement. And we will know the difference if we get in touch with our feelings about that. Or we will know when we're afraid, when we're holding back because of that. And then we'll make a decision. Okay, I know that's just fear and I got to take the step. I've got to move forward. And then other times you might be just practicing some more wisdom because it's not the time. You're not ready yet. So we have to, that's why this internal guidance that we have, when we start to get more in touch with it and allow it to be real for us, we won't judge ourselves as much.
Yeah, I love what you said, that it's integration. This is really, really powerful, because everything what is happening, like, we need time to integrate. And sometimes that can, the universe is like, hey, stop. Yeah, stop with everything. It's time to integrate. Then you can make a decision. And also, I want to add that every decision, like before every decision, we can just ask ourselves, like, what am I really deciding? And it's usually like deep, 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 deep down, it's self-love. It's self-love. So, every single decision that you make is like, okay, how is this decision going to change my life, for me to like, do I love myself? Will I put myself first in this decision? Am I, making myself a priority? And that's the crucial question, because I'm not, like we said, there's no right or wrong, but you can definitely, make your path easier, and you can save a lot of time when you follow the signs. Know that,
Let me
yeah, that are showing you self-love.
That was perfect. Let me talk about that. We each have our individual programming as well, that we have lived in this life that we've brought with us. And so we have to figure that out. So sometimes we will feel guilty if we're making a decision for ourselves because we've been programmed. Oh, that's selfish. When actually that might be the best thing that we could do, is to operate in that way. And we're at a transformative time in our world, and especially here in the United States. I'm in a different place. We are really the epicenter of what's going on, so it looks very chaotic, even on this day, as a matter of fact, the things that are coming up. But the things that are being revealed and that look really uncomfortable are for us to find comfort. And that comfort is going to be when we decide to look at who we're meant to become, and we're being
Hmm.
given choices by everything that's going on.
I like that. It's like what I'm seeing and experiencing. For me, I always, or even though I thought I held back, because I've been observing, witnessing, um, I don't like to raise my voice towards others. If I'm raising my voice, I really feel, okay, oh, fuck you. Like, you know, like if I really feel like, okay, this has been mean. Um, and even as a child, like in groups, when I had something to say, other people have been louder. And I always had like this anxiousness and excitement. The feelings themselves are very close. So for us, sometimes it's very difficult to discern if we're in a state of anxiety or if it's excitement, because how our body feels is very, very similar. And for me, right now as well, to sit back and just witness other people doing what they're doing, and there's this excitement coming up, like on integration and observing, and like, yes, like, because if I'm the only one talking, I will never hear what anybody else has to say. I miss the point of listening, of witnessing. And most of the people, all they have to talk about is like about their own conversation. I think Alan Watts said this so beautifully, and it's like, guys, let's calm down, let's take a step back, listen to our own intuition, to our own inner wisdom, and make decisions based on that. Because out of inspiration, out of the calm state, intuitive state or a state of excitement. Because if we put that inspiration into action, wow, like, wow. And sometimes it's important to take a step back and to integrate, to let it all be organized in the time of integration. So when we go out and act again, it is very clear and precise in that way.
Let's Okay, we're going to talk history now, because this is really important for what's occurring now, and all the information that I was receiving. In the United States, there was something that happened where women have been coming to uh, into more power, let's say. But one of the other things is recognizing the disempowerment that had gone on forever. And so there's this huge case going on here, which Anja brought up the other day when she went to her Facebook and she saw, why is everyone talking about Epstein? But that's symbolic, again, about the kind of imbalance that we've had between male and female energies in our lives and in our world. And so it gets played out physically in various ways. And those women who, for instance, were abused and all of that, they served a purpose. You see, what they went through was to bring greater awareness to us all now, so we can see, okay, as humans, we want to operate in a new way. We want to operate differently. So whatever we have moved through is serving that same purpose.
I need to talk on this because I know it's a very sensitive topic for many women and
Mhm.
children, and I do not tolerate that behavior from any man or any woman who is acting in this way towards another human being. It's shameful, and we gotta stop this collectively. Though I get the point that Roger is making, because the the forgiveness, the able of like, oh Father, forgive them for that they not know what they do. It's like men who do this actually are aren't in their own feminine energy, is what I perceive. So they unconsciously act out in a way and take from the feminine creatures what they feel they don't already have. So it's it's psychologically, it's it's a very interesting topic. And the women who are able to actually stand up and speak about it and be forgiving, allowing those men to stop fucking do it. Because if we as men actually learn how to act and how to behave and how to be with women, we would never even think of doing that. If we are in our own power as a man, as a healthy masculine man, and expressing ourselves and dealing with our emotions organically, naturally, we won't ever think of doing those types of things to women or children even. How many like there's stories, we don't have to go in it, but like it's because we dishonoring ourselves and because we dishonor ourselves and not respecting our own nature, which is masculine and feminine, and we have to have to get those two in balance, yin and yang, you know?
Okay, you said something earlier. You mentioned the Bible a bit. Inadvertently, you brought up something. That's why I said, let's look at our history. Since the beginning of time, we've had roles that we've taken on. We've had imbalances. Being a black person, I was like, part of my history was being a slave, but we moved beyond that because we learned more. You see, we're always in the constant state of evolving, coming to greater awareness, and it just happens to be the time that we might live, but we're always doing that, and that's what's occurring now.
Yeah, and also how I see it, we are really building the world now
Mhm.
that these lessons could be learned in different way. So now we are really facing, in I don't know, I'm alive 43 years now. I've been alive 43 years now, and I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, it's like from one extreme, like really, and especially what's coming up now. But I believe and I know that a human being doesn't need those extremes to learn certain lessons. Because if we are talking about, shame, guilt, fear, like there are different levels of humanity. Like what we are facing now, there's like extremes of extremes, which is like, okay, yeah, I guess that had to happen, but we don't have to allow it to happen again. We can stop it, and we don't have to, we can just, erase it. Like it doesn't have to exist in our consciousness anymore. It doesn't have to.
It's also, we have to see, we each will have different places in that, but we each have a place, and that's within us. And we're going to find um, those areas of our own lives where we say, wow, I really screwed that up. Well, yeah, that's so you can learn something. And then when you forgive yourself first, then the awareness comes. Okay, that I operated from a place that I didn't know any better. And so that's why I was doing that. But then if we can think that our entire society is doing the same thing, you see, and so then we just find our place in there. And as we do that, we understand that we're making a contribution when we come to and can offer a greater awareness in some way from our own experience.
Yeah, and this is also like to become aware again of what we're causing with our actions, with the decisions that we make. Every decision has a consequence. And it can be a good one or a negative one, like, or a bad one. And it's really about us to decide like which lives we choose to live as humanity. And this is like we gotta become very decisive about what lives we want to live from now on, going into the future, you know? So take time for yourself, guys. Become aware of like your own decisions and what they cause you to feel, or what you attract in your life based on what you do and how you do it. Because if you still keep complaining about the consequences of your own behavior, you haven't quite got the point yet. And, and it's it's very important that we stop pointing with the fingers to the outside and start looking into the mirror. And if you still have difficulties looking into the mirror and looking into your own eyes, maybe it's time to make some new decisions. So you can look into your own eyes. So you can be who you came here to be. Be a being of love and light. Every child comes here perfect. Every child, like, is soft and gentle and smooth. And if we really look at it, how we touch children, how we touch a newborn, I was writing some lines about this a few years ago, I think, or a year ago. If we would touch every human being with the respect that we touch a newborn, you would see a different world.
There is a message that I received a long time ago called "Kicking and Screaming," and it was to prepare us for this period that we're in right now in our lives and in the world. And it said, if you observe the birth of a newborn, they're really safe when they're in the womb for those 9 months, and then we rip them out of the womb. They come out into this world. They don't know where they are. And then we spank them, and they start kicking and screaming because there's this unknown place. That is what we each do as we move into the new aspects of ourselves. And it's also what our world is doing as it's attempting, as Anja said, moving into the new one, into that new world. We want things to stay the same, but no, that's not going to be progress. We have to decide that we're going to become willing to embrace the unknown of whatever, and knowing that it's going to create something better than what we've ever experienced.
And every decision needs to be followed by action, inspired action, because without that, that decision is always the first step. But then you have to do something. You have to do something. Nobody's going to do anything for you. Whether that's a really small thing, like, maybe just hug yourself. I'm never going to shut up about self-love because I feel that's a really, really powerful, message that we have to share. Or I don't know, just call a friend and tell him that something that you never said before, or just do something that you haven't done yesterday. Maybe, yeah, something, that you define as good, or I don't know, just something, and you don't even know. It's like, just do it and you'll see what's going to happen. Because, Roger, when you said before that with every action, we are creating the world, and, we're not nearly done yet, that really resonated. Like, I got a picture, I got a, like this picture of this puzzles. So with every action, new puzzle is in. Yeah. So every single person is contributing to the creating of reality, not only their own, but the collective as well, because we are feeding the field, the collective field, with our emotions, with our thoughts, with our behaviors, with our actions.
You brought up something. This is so obscure, but this is from a former first lady that we had, Eleanor Roosevelt, and she would say, "Do something every day that scares you a little bit." And so what that means is take a risk, and we'll know the difference. We will absolutely, when we're in touch with ourselves, we know if that thing that we're going to do is going to be harmful to another or ourselves. So of course we won't do it. But then on the other hand, we know that this thing that we really want to do, that's making us a little nervous, we know it's not going to hurt anyone or anyone else. So maybe we're just hesitating, and that's when we feel the fear and do it anyway, has been said as well. Yeah.
I love that. I think like what we should do is the next conversation, we talk about actions and things that we did in the past that allowed us to expand to, like some risky things. Like I already have some in my mind that I did that definitely altered my reality immensely. So I'm also someone like I risk. I'm a risky person. I do lots of risks. Or I take lots of risks. So I'm looking forward to sharing some of them. I feel some excitement in there. And yeah, does anyone else of you guys want to have like a final word before we leave for today?
I'm taking the next step, and that's what I want everyone else to do, and they'll see it later. So that's what we're doing.
Amazing. Yeah. And I just, maybe I can repeat what I'm repeating to, since I founded my company in 2020. So past experiences do not define you. What defines you is who you are in this moment and who you believe you can become. And that's your decision. Like,
Right.
we can decide in every moment who we are and who we want to be. So maybe that's just
I
my
like
last.
that. Yeah. And it's already like act as if it's already done. Like feel it, feel the sensation, act on it, and then it's already done. Yes, for sure, we as humanity, we still have some shit to clean up. We all see it. But let's take action. Like, let's imagine, let's use our imagination. Go in it. What future do I actually want to create with the actions I take today? And then we will see a different world, you know? So, yeah, um, let us know what you think. We love you. Share the video if you feel like it's been beneficial to you. It's probably beneficial for someone else too, for the people that you love. Leave us a like, and you will find our information in the descriptions and stuff like that. So a thing that I just started is this podcast, like Winning Generations. So that was a step for me. And how it's moving and how it's reorganizing around this entire thing is very beautiful with the people that came in, you know, with here, Anja, help me.
Aaron and Jenna.
Aaron and
Ah,
Jenna Hers.
Aaron and Jenna, the joiners, yeah, 2 days
Exactly.
ago.
So, I mean, I'm in contact with them since then, and it's just beautiful to reflect and to see on how we can expand on what just happened. So, there things just happening when we start. So don't worry about what might happen. Just do it. Just take the first step and you'll be rewarded. You know, we're really growing into or evolving, not even growing. I think growing even is the might be the wrong word because people think that, oh, I need to grow. No, you just have to be yourself. You just have to take actions. You just have to really be courageous and let go of all of the limiting beliefs that you may hold. Because we all experience limitations in day-to-day life, but they do not define us. I think Anja said this very wonderfully a few times already. I just have your energy present when, when I say this. So let's move forward, take a step, and see you in episode 6 where we talk about action. Peace.
Great.
Bye.